All right, guys, today we are making a video on something that I probably should have known more about when I was moving here, but it doesn't matter. We're getting it done now, and I want to make it as easy to follow along as possible, so I'm bringing in the big guns, the guy who's a professional at this thing. It's getting your temporary Mexican residency. Now, what that means is anyone who is intending to stay here for more than 180 days, you need more than just your traveler's visa. I think that temporary residency is up through 4 years with like an annual renewal. All right, so this actually started because I saw an article that said, hey, if you are in Mexico and you don't have your papers correct, they're gonna start cracking down, they're gonna start sending you back to the US. And I said, okay, what kind of papers do I need? I didn't realize I didn't even have my tourist visa or anything, so I kind of just been winging it. But we're here now, we're making steps in the right direction. We're gonna get my temporary Mexican residency. And I have invited he is the owner or the moderator of the Tijuana expats group. So he helps a lot of people out with getting their temporary and I believe permanent residencies as well. So we're gonna learn all about the pros and the process of getting your temporary Mexican residency. Remember, this is for anyone who plans to stay in Mexico for longer than 180 days. So like expats, digital people, people who work remote, people who are here for extended stays, retirees, anything like that. It's something that you need. And guess what? Here are the benefits that I need, other than the ability to be able to stay here. Opening a bank account is probably the biggest one. That's all I can think about right now. Let's go talk to Alez. All right, so the guy we're going to meet worked at the INS, the immigration, for 9 years. So this is how he knows the process. But now what he does is he helps people get their residency, temporary, full-time, and naturalization. Full-time, so that's his career now. So he knows what he's talking about. So we're gonna listen to what he has to say about what I need to do to get regularized. Okay guys, we are here at my favorite place, Jose Cafe. I'm here with Alex, who does this for a living professionally for helping people get their residencies here in Mexico. Like I said, I should have done this a long time ago, but we're doing it now, so I am happy that you're here, and thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Zachary, for inviting me.
Gracias por ayudándome. Okay, a couple abbreviations that you're going to hear a lot through this video. What is FNM?
FMM is Formulario Múltiple Migratorio.
And what is that?
That's a temporary migratory document which allows you to go into Mexico on the first 25 miles. And if you wish is to go further south, well, you go ahead and you just, at any INS checkpoint, present that document and they'll just put another stamp on that and you're good to go throughout Mexico.
Long story short, the FMM is the 180-day travel visa.
Another thing is when you fly in, usually the airline does include the FMM. And once you land into your destination, Cancun, Los Cabos, or Mexico City, well, you already have that FMM with your name on it. And all they do at the first authority that approaches tourists coming through the airports, well, of course, it's INS Mexico.
And what's INS?
INS is Instituto Nacional de Migración, okay. INAMI. Okay. And INAMI agents approach you right after you get off your flight and, well, you got your FMM? Yes, I have it right here. Oh, it's 180 day. Well, welcome to El País de Mexico. Have a good time, and that's it.
We're gonna focus pretty much on the temporary residency, which is people who wanna stay more than 180 days up to 4 years. He's the pro, if I'm not mistaken. So the easiest way to do it, who, what, where, when, how. Alex, let's start off with the who. Who needs to get their temporary residency in Mexico?
Okay, people that are encouraged to get a 180-day residency FMM are everybody that lives in Mexico, anybody that calls Mexico their new home, anybody that crosses, commutes daily from Mexico to the United States. Those are the people that are encouraged to get that FMM 180 days. We're not talking the 30-day or the 60 or the 90. We're talking about the 180-day. Getting the 180-day FMM has a benefit in the short term and in the long run also, due to the fact that INS Mexico will accept the 180-day FMMs as a valid instrument of proving residence in Mexico. And also it gives the stability on the holder of the FMM in this case. Explanation of irregular and irregular status. It's not as complex as it might sound, okay? We got to go back into history. Mexico, in their legal penal system, based on immigration, the word illegal does not exist. The word illegal is not commonly used. The term irregular, in fact, is the one that's used.
Okay.
Due to the fact that, to the contrary, in the United States or Canada, a person that's introduced themselves into the country is considered an illegal resident. While in Mexico, a person that's introduced themselves into the country and breached that tourist or that visits rights is not considered an illegal immigrant, but an irregular migrant. The irregular status begins the minute that document, that 3x6 paper that says you're good for 180 days, it expires. Well, since that minute that FMM goes void, well, you become an irregular. And from that point on, you demand to the government, I want to get myself regulated. I don't want to be an irregular status.
All right, so I just learned from Alex that in order to get your temporary Mexican residency, you need the 180-day FFM, right? FMM.
That's correct. That's
okay,
correct.
so this puts me in a little bit of a weird situation. So we're going to go through two examples. We're going to go through the first example of the process of getting your FMM and then getting your temporary residency, the process there. And then also he has a different scenario that could work for someone potentially like myself. So let's start with somebody who has their non-expired FMM. So they have their 180-day visa, travel visa. How do they transfer that, or how do they start it into the Mexican residency?
Okay, in the case that a tourist does have a valid FMM for 180 days, and to the date it's valid, it's not expired, well, he or she cannot apply or demand for regularization until that document becomes expired. Now, in the case of the person that does have an expired FMM, the tourist visa actually breaches and they become in irregular status. From that point on, that person will go to the INS office and contact the Mexican INS agents and demand, with the American passport, valid U.S. American passport, and that FMM, expired FMM, and say, you know what, I live in Mexico. I've been living in Mexico for the past 3 years, and I become irregular. I want to regulate myself.
Okay, so let's say we have the FMM, and if it's before it's expired or after it expired, what's the process look like in terms of cost, timeline, paperwork, documentation that I need to provide to you?
Okay. That's a very, very good question. Okay? There comes the next step. Okay, the next step is the administrative step. Okay, that's when you fill out an application online on the INS system, C-Trans system, that's called, and based on your American valid passport, you're gonna fill out the information on that application. Okay, we're talking the INS submittal for the program that you're basically looking for. In this case, it's an expired document, an expired FMM, based on that document, because there are different types of regularization process. We are talking about family unity when you're married a Mexican national. When you have Mexican-born children, that's another process. We have so many programs that help you regulate yourself. But in this case, specifically, we're talking about the expired FMM. Okay, you submit, you fill out your online application. I would recommend someone that's very familiar with the use of this application do it, because you don't want to get no errors in there, okay? I mean, nothing's going to happen if you submit the wrong application. What's going to happen? Well, you just went through the process of, getting an appointment. You just went through the process of gathering all your documents, and you filled out the wrong form. Well, Nothing's gonna happen. They're just gonna send you to the back of the line.
And who could help with that?
Okay, in this case, myself. I know.
There we go.
Yeah, because you don't want to be stuck in INS all day long, okay? Or stuck there for a few weeks, you know? Come back the following day, come back next day. You forgot this document. You know, it's better to have someone that's real familiar, you know, with the work, you know, with the paperwork. And I mean, in my case, I don't wanna say I'm the best, but I'm good at what I'm doing. I could assure you, I mean, in my cases, we're in and out in less than 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, you walk in with the uncertainty, oh, am I gonna get accepted? You go, no, do not walk in with that uncertainty. Because if I walk you through that door at INS, it's a sure thing that you're getting accepted. It's a sure thing that you're gonna walk out with that resident card. Why? Because we had a brief conversation prior, and I assured you, okay, you have this document, you have this other document. Well, we have everything we need. The only thing we need is your time and your decision, you know, to get off that merry-go-round of 180 days.
Okay, so I have 2 questions here.
Yes.
What if somebody is already living here and they have not gotten an FMM? What's the first step? To get the FMM, then get the temporary residency?
Okay, in the case that when someone's already been living here for, I don't know, for a week or months or maybe years.
Let's say a year.
Say a year. Okay, the first thing you gotta do is walk yourself into your nearest port of entry into the United States, walk yourself back into Mexico and apply for that 6-month FMM. Okay. Why? Because that 6-month FMM, I'm not gonna guarantee you that on the first FMM, you're gonna be granted the residency. Maybe on the second FMM, you will get granted the residency. Okay, now everybody gets granted 1 year. The part when we come in, we appeal on the 1 year and we always ask for the 4-year residency. A lot of people do not put a price on time. We do, okay, in my case. And I make sure that you go there one time and one time only, and you walk out with your residency card, okay? On some cases, there are people that have to go a couple of times because it's not they lack paperwork, but they don't know the process themselves. Right. And yeah, I want to save me, I don't know, $600, $700. But in the end, like I said, we put a price on your time.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to be losing out money for no reason, 3-4 days at a time. Right. So one time only, and you're out of there with your 4-year residency card.
All right. And speaking of $600, $700, what's the 2 things? What's the timeline look like from the day that somebody applies online? How long does it take to get an appointment? And how long does it cost? How much does it cost?
Let's do this. We start out on a Monday. We go to that interview on the Monday. It only takes about 10, 15 minutes at tops. We agree on a route that's best for you. You know, I better assess the situation. You know what? We are going to take this route for your residency. And let's say Tuesday you're ready. Okay, let's do it. Tuesday at 9 a.m. I have them meet me at the INS Mexico office, and by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at the latest, they're walking out with their residency card.
Okay, so
that's fast.
I thought that I needed to go online and apply.
Okay, in this case, I get to do all the work. Okay, I have a secretary. She will fill out all the information. I get that all your bio. I get all your information. I fill out the application, and when we go to INS, it's already there, you know, because we already filled the application online. Not a lot of people know about this.
You can take the file from start to finish, which is what, if you're looking to get this isn't something where you want to half-ass it, or, you know, you want to do this one time and get it done professionally. Okay, I think from at least a beginner's standpoint, we got a lot of ground covered here. Alex, I thank you so much.
No, thank you, Zachary, for inviting me.
We are gonna tell the viewers what your contact info is. What's actually the best way to contact you? How you prefer to be contacted?
Okay, we have a Facebook page. It's called Expats in Tijuana, Mexico. You could go ahead and ask to join our Expats page. If you have any questions regarding this episode or any topics that we just went through and you want further explanation, please go ahead, join our expats page, and I'll be happy to answer them the best I can.
Cool. I will make sure to put the link to that down low in the description of the video. And they can just send you a message on the expats page?
That's correct. That is correct.
Okay, perfect. You'll see him. He's all over the place. He welcomes all the new members, and he's
Yes.
the moderator.
Over
as well.
200 regularizations already proven, okay?
Wow. Okay. All right, you guys, and we just got a generous offer from Alex here. The baseline for this process, and it depends on what type of process you're going through, whether it's amnesty or the family one. Typically, the baseline is $700 out the door is the minimum. So if you mention this video, that you saw this YouTube video and this interview, and you stuck around this long, he's generous enough to offer a flat fee for any of the different programs for $550. So I mean, at the least, you are saving 150 bucks. And if you work with him, you know, it's a 9 out of 10 shot. He already said, or more than that, that he's going to get you your residency and done the first time. So I think we got a sweetheart deal. Join the expats group. I'll put the link here. His contact info will be in there. And I thank you so much.
No, thank you, Zachary.
Is there anything else we missed?
Oh, no, everything's covered.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, let me know right away. I will be more than happy to follow up on your questions and give out the best information.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
No, gracias a ti,
Okay,
Zachary.
gracias.